season 4, episode 13. It's called The Deadly Maze.
Deadly Maze?
Yeah. It was directed by Willard Wayard. He's born December 3rd, 1927 in Los Angeles, and then he died.
Oh,
he lived as a Sagittarius, and then he died as a Cancer. But he died on July 3rd. He was born on December 3rd, and then he died July 3rd in Los Angeles. So he got the privilege of born and raised. So, okay, hold on. So he's a part of the initial bro club. The privilege. So go back to the episode. I want the Wikipedia. Episodes. That's so funny. Technology 2, season 2. See, I identify a lot with the Rockford Files because I was born the same year it came out. So I got that same energy. And it actually came out, I think, the season of Aries. So season 4 kind of reflects the vibe of 1977. It's like collective consciousness as interpreted by the director and writers, and it's a congruent agreement, and they say art imitates life, imitates art. So they're not, and it aired on December 23rd. That's the day my grandma died. Not in 1970, not same year. But these congruencies are just wild. So the synopsis is what I'm trying to find about the Deadly Maze. They have it on a little bit on the IMDb. Because we watched it today. It was on earlier when Mom was having breakfast and stuff like that. So Jim is unwittingly involved in a bizarre experiment when hired to find a man's missing wife. So Larry Linville, he was on that show MASH. That's why so many people think it's cute to drive Jeeps, because it glorifies the industrial military complex, and they plant seeds in human psychology with little things like that. And now I live in Taos, and I'm surrounded by these people that couldn't fucking change their tire, but they got these $80,000 Jeeps, and they spend $8,000 just to have it painted army drab green, and all this it's all misappropriation of funds. And I gotta shift off every day. I gotta just shake it off, Marge. Just shake it off. Just shake it off. Is Benny going outside?
Yeah.
And so, it's just another story about a group of people that want to dominate and control over others, and they'll go to any lengths to treat people like rats. And, they've been doing this the whole time, and they send people off over there to defend their freedom, and it's out of control. People just got duped too much, and now they're waking up to their own discernment is what the Great Awakening is. I understand, they're discerning, see all this stuff that people are waking up to, they're the world is being represented in a new fashion. And that's not the case, because the world has always been this way. But since more people are seeing things how they are for real, with all the extortion and racketeering and the military is a joke. It's been a staged performance that they got away with for a long time. And now it's it got weird, because not the people that are capable and that should have been turning wrenches and stuff like that. See, they made it more the outside, building, in where I was stationed. We never had money for parts because we were in maintenance. Yet, you need parts to maintain the flight line, but they were always building new buildings, and they absorbed these multi-million-dollar budgets so they could build buildings and put big fans so they could be comfortable. The people make, see the comfort level, creature comforts just expel. So everybody just got real comfortable, and nobody's good with being uncomfortable. So now when something, especially after these, now people are put in a situation where they're uncomfortable, and then they're freaking out. Because they always got their way. Because when they were babies, their moms and dads overcompensated for my generation for being treated like shit by like the boomer generation. And shit rolls downhill. So people overcompensated by giving their kids that best life. You didn't prepare them for the world. People don't have every time I go out in the world, like I went to the grocery store today. And this woman, like, had such a hard time with the ATM. She was, like, in one of those mobile things, you know, like, she couldn't figure that out. And, like, you know, like, people... Now I'm dedicated in this line, so I'm going to stick it out, right? And, like, I don't know, it's just... It's fucking stupid. I hate going out on planet Earth. I hate it, dude. Like, especially in Taos, man. It's just... Everybody's me first. So it doesn't matter where I go. I'm just like, after you, princess. It's your world. I'm just living in it, you know? You know, like I was walking across the street today and some asshole from fucking Nebraska freaking wanted, you know, like wanted to go 8 feet because he couldn't, because traffic. He couldn't go like but a car link, but he wanted to go ahead of me. And I was like, fuck you, Nebraska. Like, fuck you, Nebraska. I said, Nebraska sucks. He starts rolling down your window. I'm like, look, it's one of the lizard people. Because he's a ball white. Like, go back where you come from. Lizard dude. Creepy little crawly. Because see, Mom, because like, we've been to the higher dimensions, you know? We've seen the interdimensional beings. And how they behave to you is contingent on how you receive them. You know, people call them angels, people call them demons, people call them, you know, the evil spirits. It's like your frequency is going to designate, you know. People aren't getting it. The metaphysical is merging with the physical. It's always been like this, but more people have been into the ethers. Because more people are disassociating, more people are becoming traumatized, more people are freaking out because they're seeing weird shit. Because they don't got their mommies and daddies around no more to frickin' save them from all the ooga boogas. Some parents actually serve their kids to the ooga boogas. It's just gross. But like I said, I was at the store earlier today and this woman couldn't figure out the gadgetry. And then she had like 2 things in a sack. And the guy was like waiting for her to, okay, you're over, you're done. And she just sat there. She's like, isn't the little girl going to help me? And it's just, I'm constantly reminded, it doesn't matter the city in which you live. Doesn't matter the age of the people I'm talking about. That woman could have been like a, 14-year-old kid. Like, it doesn't matter. People are not equipped to handle life situations. Like, I see kids like 15 years old and something happens and they say I got on this Facebook thing today, came across that like, they're like, you can't compare traumas. You can't compare somebody. I'm like, dude, I'm just saying that I've had a lot more practice than most people, and I still have a smile on my face. My teeth haven't rotted out of my head. You know why oral hygiene is directly freaking related to mental health? You talk shit, freaking those toxins, they ooze out your gums. That's why people are like, I got a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm like, what kind of shit have you been talking? Because that doesn't just happen. No, people think things just happen, like 8 years passed and then all of a sudden they're 40, they're out of high school but they're freaking 40 pounds heavier than they were, and they just lived every day and done all those things that they wanted to do. As they look around, they wonder why their community is getting worse and worse. It's because World War III is an inside fight. It's a spiritual fight. And people got to fight for their own soul and what they're going to do with it. Are they going to give it up? They're going to give it up to living that best life? Which leads to gluttony and all that freaking self-serving, nasty, gross stuff? Or are they going to freaking, take it a little bit, go through the hardships, and level up, See, all the outcomes are the same, but you got the cheater way, the instant gratification, and then you got the God way, the good orderly direction, the slow organic way, and people want stuff too quick. So they're taking the easier, softer way. So they're choosing, and with their little cute little devil horns on their little, oh, look at that, I'm a little devil, you're a little devil. Yeah, there's too much of that fucking shit. That's why Satan's winning. Satan's winning because people are supporting the practices, and they don't even know it. That's what's crazy. They don't even know it. They don't even care to know what they wake up and choose to do every day. Just freaking feeds the ooga boogas. And the more that happens, the more we're going to have hell on earth. This is kind of how it is. It's like got too many people that care about themselves. That kind of shits on everybody that people can't take care of themselves. And now we have more people. Like, I saw a woman freaking out because, the superintendent winced at her kid, recoiled. I'm like, dude, my whole life fucking people have recoiled at me. I grew up with, thinking I was ugly and stuff like that. Because my own parents would recoil. It's because I'm a high vibrational being. You just kind of get used to it. But to fucking, oh my God. Dude, there are bigger problems in the world than people fucking denying your kid. Because it's your kid, and people think, you choose to have kids, that's great, but don't be mad if the whole world ain't excited about little precious like you are. I'm officially done with that RP, dude. They don't fucking get it. They don't get it, and they're not gonna get it, and they can profit from not getting it, so they're not gonna get it. I'm just fucking over that guy. Dude was driving around. We were driving around Austin, and every street corner there was somebody holding a sign. Every street corner. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. There's a guy on the side holding a sign and panhandling, asking for help, and I was just like. So if you counted how many, and you didn't even fucking help one, you didn't even stop to give that man your ear to see what his circumstances are. No, you just, it's such an important. That's what my whole fucking existence is, to try and get you fucks to fucking realize nobody's gonna help people unless you're the one to help people. And one day, and it's gonna get to the point that you don't help people so much, you will rule the day that you need help, and it will not be there. Because we are supposed, God, Creator works through us. People say prayers, we answer them as the custodians of the earth. That don't happen in Taos. That don't happen in Salem, Oregon. That don't happen on Omaha, but they can perpetuate these storylines like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and every year people have just lived the same last year, and they meet maybe, and they're bigger than they were. And it's like, what have you done with your life? And all these people are like, fuck, dude, I haven't done jack shit with my life. I've been, and you gotta answer for this life in some capacity. People are like, how many people did you help? I still don't think I've helped enough people. I went to the park and made coffee freaking lattes for freaking homeless today, if I'm not doing a talk and contributing something, then I'm trying to do, I'm handing out, that chick on TikTok, What is her at tag? There was just an earthquake. 5.1. Yeah, the whole world's fucking flipping. Like it's only gonna get worse. And it don't matter where you live. Nobody's safe on planet Earth, you know? So thanks, Ma, for giving me all the life experience that I need to freaking, you know, ultimately handle most any situation that comes up. Because a lot of people, they just are not equipped. They're not equipped. So, where is that? Mom's getting egg rolls for... You want it? I always give her a choice of what she wants to eat, and then dumpster_pixie. She ate one of my cookies last night, and I saw her start doing a live, and she was like, "Okay, gotta go," cause she won't do lives under certain circumstances, which is understandable. I won't either. And then this morning. She held up my bag. I was like, "Look, Ma, 500 people are looking at my cookies right now." And so, that stuff makes me feel good. That's how I connect to the outside world, right? So she's like, "Thanks for the cookie." Because when I gave them to her, I said I would not crossfade with these. These are solo. They're a solo journey. You know, it's just these. Right? You know, maybe with a cup of coffee, or she don't drink coffee, or Dr. Pepper, whatever, you know? I said, so these are for that, and she's like, "Oh, you know, challenge accepted." I love when people say that to me. I'll give them to people, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm totally used to this," or, they like there's, I don't know, it's bizarre how people receive, you know. Because I'll be like, "Hey," I put 1 oz of flour in 2 sticks of butter. And then they kind of do the math, and then they're like, "Oh, okay." Well, I tell everybody, you know, like, get orange juice. I don't want anybody having an unpleasant experience. And so, because people underestimate it. Because people like to make, you know, stuff, but they don't put that much in so little, so they're not. So it's the generosity. That's what makes the experience good, because they're made with my care and my generosity and my good intention, and that will commingulate with that which encompasses in the person that consumes them. And so when I saw her this morning, she was doing a live, and I popped in before I ran out to do errands and stuff. And she's like, "Look," she's like, "I didn't even eat a whole one." She's like, "But I had to go hide in my sleeping bag." And she was in a hotel room. Because she travels around. She has a wagon, a little buggy. And I sent her off when she was in Taos. I don't know if she'll ever be back in town. Maybe I could set up my traveler center, and then she could come back with her dogs and just, like, you know, sleep however in whatever combination she wants on the property. Because we'll have lots of options, because my place is going to be for the lower echelon. You know, for the people like this, like the 70-year-old freaking, like, people my mom's age that don't got no family and they don't got no place to go, so they're or the young 23, you know, whatever, that's just traveling around trying to figure their shit out, or the freaking kid that, you know, is like, you know, like, and it doesn't. We're gonna have automotive service. I'm gonna have, like, places where people can pull out of the cold and be in out of the heat, because those are the worst. See, I got some good shit from going in the military. You got to get the best. You got to do the best you can for people. And when you do that, people will want to perform for and show up for themselves in their lives. Yes. And that's what I'm trying to encourage people to do, because I've been at the fucking bottom of the bottom of the bottom. And then I've been to the top, and I decided I don't like that. So I'm trying to find a happy medium. So they'll have automotive, like where you can automotive, like serve, like you can work on your own shit, you know? Because they used to have that on Offutt Air Force Base. You could take your car in, you had all the tools you could need, you know, a compressor, like lifts, like it was like a full, and you know, but you got the privilege because you signed your name and made agreements that we, you know, it's just all the club, but everybody should have access to amenities like that. See, because money got out of control, man, and there's too many people. There's more people. It's like we're getting to a point that money don't matter. Because if you're an asshole, you can have all the fucking. Because I'm like that. If you're a fucking deal hole, I mean, like Elon Muskrat don't want to meet me because I will tell him about him. Because I see the parts in myself that are fucking just gross. That just he's just like dances around. Dude, you're from fucking South Africa. You're the fucking ugly fucking little dude that fucking the whole school didn't like because you sucked. So you had to flee to fucking America and fucking, you know, use all your fucking family privilege and do all the, because he that's the instant gratification. He's the shortcut guy. He's not a man of God. He is not a man of good worldly direction. You don't fucking litter the fucking, you know, for no, you don't. You don't mine for batteries. No, you don't. He's just another one of those with freaking superiority complexes that likes to spread his seed. So he's like, fuck it. He's like that other dude. They like to like have 12, 14 kids. It's like, dude, what do your kids grow up and do? They take the place of a person that's more qualified. Probably. Because what happens, like more kids, like they like the like, nah. It's like the first one's the smartest, and then it kind of trickles down. It's just science papers I've read and stuff, psychology, for years and years, because I always wanted to figure out why the people freaking act the way they act, and then it always comes down with what they do with their free will. Because they're self-serving, opportunistic, selfish, greedy. I drove past the church today, and there's like freaking like 300 cars in the parking lot because it's Thursday and they give out the free food. And it's like, dude, there's so much money in this freaking community, but they piss it away at the top. There's a funny article that they wrote about in Taos News. I actually took screenshots on it because you only can look at the article like so many times. So I'll just read a little bit of it. I didn't get the title. Even as the town of Taos implements its first succession plan intended to prevent sudden vacancies in key leadership positions, municipal employees are leaving their posts at a rate that is proving difficult to keep up with. That's a lot of words to say. They can't keep people in positions. They can't because it's so ridiculous. What you do, girl? You going up? The succession plan identifies the top 25 most important administrative positions and provides a strategy. See, you can have all the little fucking consensus and studies, and you can go to this university and ask their fucking group of eggheads to come down and watch and where can we you can do all that all day long. Ultimately, you got to take a look at your people have to take a look at themselves, and they want, because if you want things better for your community, you got to go out and do it. But it's like all governments, all of them, all bureaucrats, they just sit around and talk about doing shit. They never fucking get anything done. It's just like the bane of my existence is misappropriation of funds and lazy and all that. So, and it provides a strategy for a seamless transition in the face of pending retirement. Or see, because you have these people that have been in place for 30 years, and they didn't never wanted to tell the trade secrets because they didn't want the community to know how little they actually did. Because if they would have just, like, you know, done so a little bit at, you know, then that collectively builds up. But this town is in such a disarray because nobody did something for so long, and so many people were the nobody that did something, and they just supported each other's bad behavior. And now they want to bring more people here, and it's like, you couldn't even freaking accommodate the people that are already here. Like, people have these grandiose ideas and they don't got the fucking gumption to support them because, number one, you don't have the local population to support the infrastructure. And the ones that you do, how many of them are odd man out because they're freaking autistic or they're have some neurodivergent. But I got ideas. I got ideas on how to take care of projects around town and circumvent the fucking human resource department. And it's all web-based. I just need to find programmers that are in alignment with me and they don't just want to make, you know, freaking gazillions of dollars and fucking shit on everybody else, because we got plenty of that on planet Earth. The plan includes a first-year appropriation of $145,000 to compensate prospective successors to shadow 6 key positions. But with few exceptions, things have not been going. What? Things have not been going to according to plan? So all your planning means jack shit? That's why life experience comes into play. That's why people have to live through hell on earth so they can go and tell the bureaucrats, this is why it's hell on earth, because your fucking technology doesn't work. Like, you know, everything, you get paid to provide services and those services aren't there. And so now everything is crumbling down. Frustrations with the town's attrition rate attributable in recent months to anticipate retirements, but also to sudden resignations, and the least one, termination. Boiled over Tuesday night on November 12th at the town council meeting. The latest of the town's department. See, I could see everybody's heated. That's why I stay away. Because I'm too much of a hothead. And I know about myself. I'm very self-aware. And Mom always said, it's easier to stay out of a problem than it is to get out of a problem, so I don't put myself in situations where I can go get locked up and be forgotten about. Because ain't nobody gonna take care of Mom. And nobody's gonna let the dogs out for me. Because they haven't yet, under any circumstance. There's one, but, I mean, I paid a lot for it, and whatever. The latest of the town's department heads has unexpectedly announced their resignation is Tamara Chavez, Human Resource Director, whose pending departure was acknowledged Tuesday. Town Manager Lupe Martinez emphasized to the council all of the town's top positions are at least filled by interim or acting directors, including Chavez's. Right now, we have no director positions that are unfulfilled right now. Martinez said, I think we need to be brought up to speed on what's going on with the culture in town hall. So we could support. Now, the thumbnail that I used on today's talk, that's the back of, like, they have, like, I don't know, like 3 town halls, and that's the one in the town square. They spent $5.2 million on essentially putting in an elevator, and they refaced the front. They outsourced the project to a company in Farmington, so they didn't even hire local. They didn't even put money in local business contractors' pockets. No. So they hired crew. So how much? That's why it was 5 points, because it's a All of Bros Club. Because they're pissing away people's money. And now things are just all... I wonder what it's like in other towns. Says, I think we need to be brought up to speed on what's going on with the culture at town hall so we can support how our role allows us to. Counselor Darian Fernandez told Martinez, who just months ago left her post as finance director to step into the manager position. It's just like moving. It's like musical chairs, and it's none of these people could change a tire. Like they have words on a page and they're like, this is reality, but they gotta go out in their community to see what reality really is, and they're landlocked. They're just duh. That's the Taos home. Oh, baby girl, what's a pretty girl? What's it doing? You want Mitchie Mews? Come on, girl. And come on, you want to go up? And then they have little excerpts on pretty girl. Come on. I'm sorry. It's not time for your pills yet. Come on. Come on, girl. Deanna Sanchez served a 5-month stint as the town's marketing assistant for fucking what? Like what? Or is that where the little pamphlets, like with all the logos of all the local nonprofits that don't actually help people in the community, but they get income to say, we care. It's also disingenuous, really. Marketing assistant in 2022 to 2023, when Karina Armajado was years into her tenure as the director of tourism and marketing department. It's just all the cousin club, dude. It's a clusterfuck. I mean, where are you going to get the good ideas on how to run a city if you've been born and raised in a city that's run shitty? All the studies in the world aren't going to save you. Let's see. Even if they have been inherited from Martinez's predecessor, Sanchez contacted Taos News after reading about the experience John Rodriguez described of being fired from the top position in the same department last month after submitting an They are putting their dirty laundry out on it. I said, thanks for the content, is what I said on this post. Martinez told Taos News that she couldn't comment on Rodriguez's termination and did not respond to an inquiry regarding because he was hired and fired along. It's just all so goofy. It's just like, it's just all, we're not accountable. There's no accountability. Sanchez alleges she was terminated in April last year, not by Armajado, but who hired by the then-town manager Andrew Gonzalez in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which I've done videos about. It took them 40 years to put in a freaking widen the road and put in sidewalks. They got paid to do the job. It's like that's the culture. They get paid to do shit, and then we'll get around to it, and fucking never do. That's Taos, New Mexico. It's so funny. Quit last year after securing a new job as director of the state outdoor recreation division. Because if you don't do your job in one area, you sure as fuck won't do it in this other area for more pay. Isn't it funny, Mom? It just cracks me up. Amaro, she said she couldn't discuss Sanchez's case because she believed it was being litigated and she might be called in as a witness due to a misdiagnosis of a serious but treatable mental health condition. What is that? Obesity? Which one is it? Because there's so many that are easily freaking treatable. There's so many things people could do not to go fucking crazy, but they don't. They use their free will not to do any of them. So the rest of us that do the things not to fucking go crazy, we just get to watch. Watch the show. Sanchez said her mental health spiraled while working at the town. Really? And I've held up pretty okay just trying to keep us off the street homeless for the last 7 years. But you gonna be okay? You need pats or circles, born and raised. That's what my point is. People don't get how hard it is out here when you don't got the support and you don't got the connections. And everybody thinks their choice is to be out here, and every day people wake up and there's more freaking eviction notices on the street, or there's more people that just don't want to, that just want the people to get the fuck. That's been my experience. Just, wait, I got to use the house for something else. So you got to do something else, and there aren't places for people to go. But the people in every city do not recognize this because it's not their problem, because they got their cushy place. I was like that when I lived in Omaha. I had my 2,100 square foot house. It's, you made bad life choices. I sound just like my brother. You should have made better choices in life. You wouldn't be in the position you are now. And I'm like, why isn't the system designed to help and support everybody? Why is there a line of thinking, a hierarchy of thinking, that people at top think that people at bottom aren't worth it? Why is there a not worth it? Why is there a bottom? These are questions I want answers. So it's enough. It's just getting boring. We're losing them faster than we can identify interims. It's because you guys, oh my God. Okay. Asked whether or not the town had reached a tipping point beyond the workers are spread so thin, covering extra responsibilities that burn out and corollary departures are escalating, or whether she feels that there is a culture problem in the town hall. Martinez shook her head. It's just statewide. That's the way it is in local government right now. They all got paid to do a job and they didn't do it. And now the cracks of society are at a place where they can't manage and they don't know what to do, and they have their funds and their budgets, and they think that if they relent these budgets and just put a different label on the budget and then allocate it in a different place, that's going to reflect poorly on them. And it's like, leave your fucking ego out of it and do what's right for everybody, even the poor, people at the bottom, that can't draw a sign. They're just as well, everybody deserves a fucking roof over their head. And America just don't get that. And see, and I could understand if the funds weren't there and they're just, we just don't have the money. But you can't even. Marijuana alone is a multi-billion-dollar industry in this. Like, nobody should be, like, no senior citizens should be paying for a utility bill. It should be like, hey, take the rest of, it's on us, And if you take care of yourself, then you know what. Like, there's all kinds of things that people could, that cities could do to give back to the people in their own community, but they got these weird ideas of being stingy and selfish, and we don't get to do that no more. Let's see. No one wants to work, she told the council. There's a good group of candidates, potential candidates, that don't want to come and work for government. They might not want to work in the privates, and they might not want to work in the private sector. They're all fighting for the same group of people to apply. See, now I got a solution, and that's an app. And you use GIS software, the software that you get access to wherever your phone goes, even if you don't have service. You have you can be found. You just have to be tuned in. Oh, you got to be important enough to be tuned in on the right frequencies. Okay? What you need, pretty? So you just take before after picture, and and you got responsible people in the community that that want to build the community but don't want to deal with all that and don't want to be taxed so much that you go to work and you're but see, you get to use all the resources of the local government. You just have just go, hey, I'm here to get I'm here to get supplies to go patch the freaking roads on this. Oh, okay, come on in. Because it's all to serve the community. It's all the same kitty. But you got stingy mingies out there thinking, because they're withholders. Because they're all about ego. Easing God out. God is good orderly direction. JC consciousness it's coming back. It's happening more. You want to go outside, pretty? Where'd you go? Outside the door? Good boy, Tuck. Where'd she go?
Right towards you.
So I called today's talk. Oh, she went up there.
Uh-huh.
Your egg rolls should be cool enough to eat soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's back down there.
Oh.
All the clocks are syncing up.
All the what?
The clocks are syncing up. There's a story about the clock keeper that had all these clocks, you know,
Uh-huh.
from all over the world,
Wow.
and they're made by all these different makers and stuff like that. And then he'd go and wind them all up,
Uh-huh.
and he'd leave the clock shop, and they'd all be going tick, you know, and they're tick tock, yeah, tick tock, like the app, you know, like FYP, like you find things on your timeline, right? So you know, and then he left and go home for the night and come back the next morning and walk in, and all of the clocks on the wall are in sync.
Oh.
All of them. All of them. They lined up at some point. And that's what's happening to people's frequency. And you got, but we were like, where, like, when I was growing up, there were all these people that were sane.
That were sane?
They were sane. You know, there are all these people that they worked out, they created all these systems. And I it was so weird because I got the dual, because we got the mom was adopted, like handicapped, born with 2 club feet, like we got poor, you know, and then my dad was the Freemason, born to privilege, born and raised, you know, and I mean he lives in the same town that he was born in, 77, however 75 years, 76 years ago. I mean, you know, like he came from the privilege, but it never came to me. And then I was like, oh my God, we got sacrificed. We were the sacrifice because they sacrificed, you know.
Wow.
There's all kinds of ways people get sacrificed. The literal way and then the figurative way. Just all you got to do is like not help people. Some people call it gang stalking. I just call it just freaking ignoring people, and then they just, you know, if you keep getting told and for every time you need help, it makes things really hard in life. Unless you got a higher power like mine, and mine's pretty miraculous. Our God's pretty freaking amazing. The things and situations and circumstances that his God is through. It's amazing. Like it's a miracle. Like miracle after miracle after miracle. It's magical. So, you ready to come in and hang out, talk?
Hello, Tuck.
Watch family time?
Oh.
She's over here.
Hi, Tucker.
She's over here.
Yeah.
Tucker's 14 today.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you, Tuck.
Happy birthday to
Sweet
you.
butts.
Oh. He's happy.
Tucker or Luna's wearing the cone.
The cone?
Yeah, I should get her test results back tomorrow. I didn't get them today, so they should be tomorrow. Good boy. Come on, Tuck. So, what you want? You want to go outside?
Oh.
You want to go outside?
Oh, she's happy.
What you need?
Fresh air. Oh.
I should probably finish the YouTube talk. You want to go? Come on. Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, you want to go outside? Come on. Want to go outside? hungry, Ma?
Yes.
Here, taste this. Good?
Oh, yeah.
Here, here, let me wrap it in a paper towel for you. So, I went to my phone carrier today to see about getting a tablet so I can show you videos on something so I don't have to necessarily turn on the desktop. Here, hold it. You got it? And, I was trying to explain. I just preach. Wherever I go, I just preach. And I showed him, I was like, we were just talking about the way of the world and stuff like that. And I was explaining that they can't perpetuate the lie anymore. Like America's this big old great superpower. Like they boasted it up, but they didn't. America didn't walk the walk. No, they just talk this talk and then use all these means to cause harm to these people to fucking establish dominance. You fucking dropping bombs on places. It's pretty fucking cowardly, really. If you really want to be honest about it, it's like cowardly way. Like they had some Marines go in. Wiped out a bunch of people, did a bunch of weird shit, that dudes do when they get all amped up in wartime. And then I saw the aftermath of that, and it wasn't pretty. I wonder how many of those 550 that were in that hangar that they were, because America, they went and freaking did that, and then they put them in a hangar for 3 weeks. Whoa. And these guys were just like in their tanks, like chilling in this hangar, like living like fucking scumbags in a hangar in their own filth after they just killed all these people, and because they're like, we don't know what to do with them. Like we don't, like you can't figure out where to, like it was the biggest clusterfuck I ever saw. It's when I knew that this country was a joke. What? It's all lies and bells and whistles and do as I say and might is right, and because I used to watch fucking war movies.
Oh, the war movies.
And then they tried to mimic that, but like the real life, you don't fucking need that shit. America has no reason to be killing nobody on any other land unless fucking people are, and look, they just let people, there's some, how many freaking moms and freaking people are trying to just escape? I think it's funny that the Mexican governor, the Mexican president is saying, did you just eat the paper? I think you did. You're eating paper, huh? Spit it out. Spit out. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Got it? Take it. You can, it's just a little bit. Got it? Want another one? I said people have a hard time with it. I know I do. I showed him the hotel that I stayed in.
That's nice.
This is the hotel that I stayed in. We showed up the night before, the night before shock and awe. My hotel room was on this side. And then I had this great view of the Mediterranean, and it was so weird because I'd wake up every day, I'd turn the TV on, and the news would be like showing all the airstrikes, like boom, 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 like, and for like the 20 minutes that I'd be up getting ready to go, boom, 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 these airstrikes, and I'd turn it down, I'd use it for the lights, and then I'd go to work. Because I was flight line support, so I would go to work from this 5-star hotel, where tourists are, and meanwhile go to work over there with Suda Bay, and then I would support the flight line where the planes would leave to go do the bombings.
Oh, wow. That's really.
Isn't that weird?
Wow.
And then I'm just supposed to la la la. I'll just do it. It's crazy. I mean, it went against every, I go out there freaking, I'd be like, dude, I just wanted to get a college certificate. And I'm fucking part of killing all these people over there.
Oh, wow.
And it's so weird. And then I come back and I'm like, because I saw the Marines, because they're freaking out, because they're like, we don't need to, they're the ones that were like, we didn't need to fucking do that. Like, it was them, it was from them.
Oh.
They're like just shell shocked. They're like, they're playing video games and they're like, let's go blow some shit up. And then they went to blow some shit up and then it's like, fuck, this is real life.
Yeah.
And then some of them, worse, they decided how much they like doing that shit. Because of the video games and stuff like that they grew on, it just desensitizes people. So, but they, it doesn't matter. They broke, their skulls or their psyches are broke. And then, they come back here and everyone's like, you're such a hero. And they're like, no, we suck.
Wow.
But don't talk about how much you suck. Because your friends died because we suck.
No.
You can't say stuff like that, Like, people are freaking broken because we suck. Instead of just acknowledging that and stop sucking, people like me are like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just speaking from my experience. And there weren't a lot of people that were standing right next to me when I was having these experiences, so they don't understand. Because they were too busy back at home being fucking born and raised, where they got to have all the privilege and the advantage while people are freaking perpetuating bullshit storylines so money can be made. That, to me, is insane. But now Congress is acknowledging that there's aliens in the ocean. I'm like, no fucking shit, dude. We live on a freaking, in an ecosystem, basically like an alien ant farm. Traveling around through space, whatever space is. And what we do with free will is bizarre. Let's build nations built on butt stuff. What the fuck is that? Like, America's built on butt stuff for control and domination. Tucker just likes to be out walking around.
And fresh air.
Yeah. That's alright. It's his birthday. It's 14.
It's 14. Oh, that's nice. You smile.
I'm just glad he's still here.
You smile.
No?
Yeah.
You got it? You like it?
Yes.
I went to Sushi Siam, a place in down in the little town square. It was really good.
Oh, Lord.
It was really good. Made me think. It made me think I was not in Taos for just like 10 minutes. I walked in and I was like, bloop. I was like, because there's two entrances on both sides. There's one on the main road and then there's one on the back of the footpath. But I always just walked by it the 4 years we lived here. And so finally I went in and it felt like a restaurant that's in like a big city.
A big steak?
Like a big city restaurant. That's what it felt like when you walk in. On the outside, it's just this little blip, but you walk in, it's like, whoa,
This one, yeah.
It made me feel like I wasn't in Taos for a second.
Oh.
And then the food was so good. Such good food. You got the tuna avocado salad, and I didn't think she would like it. And I think it's probably local green source, microgreens. So, you doing okay? We're faring a lot easier than a lot of other people. People are freaking going through. That's why I'm like trying to make this travel center, because we don't just have to have one in Taos. If it succeeds, if it at all succeeds, then people can use that and do that in their local communities. And I can show them how to do it because, I qualified I'm ordained. I'm a female veteran. Like, I have all these things. I just am not going to sit there and fucking fill out all the paperwork to do what I'm going to do to make the community better. So they can either put somebody in a position where they can fucking fill out all the paperwork and just let me go with my ideas. Just, yeah, you know, lawyers, whatever. You guys sort it out. Let me just be the idea person. Because what I've managed to do, succeed in doing in life with my autism, I'm like the freaking highest level autistic spectrum that I have ever met. I'm not saying there aren't other ones out there, but I didn't get all the advantages. I didn't get all the special freaking, you know, I didn't get all that extra fluff that people got, and I still managed to go to college. Yeah. I didn't get a 4.0. But I got like a 3.67 when I barely graduated high school with the 2.0.
Wow.
You know, I still got a 96 on the ASVAB. I mean, I was never dumb. I just didn't want to remember the stupid facts that these people that told me was true, because I knew in my heart it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's why I failed history. And now, look at history. Mr. Eaton, I think you owe me a summer, you Mr. dickhead. Eaton? Yeah, he's the one that failed me. Because I would question history.
Oh.
I'll be back. Luna, I don't appreciate you losing your comb. Go on, go girl. Go girl. She says, don't make it scary. Come on, go on. Did you get enough to eat, Mom? You want some of that coconut pineapple?
No.
Coconut?
Coconut?
Want some coconut juice?
Yeah.
Coconut. Come on, go. Go. I'll get you some in just a second. I'm gonna wrap up this talk.
Okay.
All right. Anyway. Okay. Clear my thoughts. She lost it, so I had to go out and find it before because she's licking on her leg.
Oh.
She's licked a blood spot. And you know what is so weird? Because they'd been going to the other vet all these times, right? And then I'm getting charged like all this money for their lab work, and then they could say, "Oh, we'll call back in 10 minutes if we find something with the results. If not, everything's fine."
Oh.
And then when I went and took Luna at this last appointment, they took the old pet screening like I thought I had always gotten. But the screening, actually, they sent it out. So I think I getting charged for screenings that weren't getting done? Because they said it was like $280 or something like that. And I was like, I don't remember paying this much. And like, well, we got to send it out we got to send it out of town to have the results done. And I'm like, what have I been paying for? Like, people... I'm not a fan of planet Earth right now. Just because I'm not comfortable with everybody else figuring it out. It's like, everybody figure it out. Once you get to the place where that doesn't matter, and then you want to, use the resources to make things comfortable for everybody, not just the people at the top, then let's have some conversations on how to make it better for everybody. But I can't, it's not even that world yet, because people care more about third corner innings and all this stupid bullshit that don't matter. Like, they care more about football and pro sports and all this stupid stuff that don't matter. None of that stuff matters. And it's just resources that could be used for better practical things. But people that have never had these problems... See, that's the thing, is people are experiencing shit they ain't never experienced before. I was telling the people at the photo, I said, it's not that, like, because now we're seeing in North Carolina that North Carolina is figuring out that the government don't care about them. The government don't care. Like, they'll show up and they'll hand out some water bottles and they'll say we care, and they'll give themselves per diem and travel pay and all this stuff, and then they'll be like, well, we got to get back to our regular lives. We've been inconvenienced enough and we're going to be on our way. And then I'm thinking, I've had lots of situations in my life where I needed some sort of agency, somebody to advocate for me, to show up for me, to make sure that, my basic needs were met, and a lot of times that never happened. Yet all these institutions, they sure are getting paid to say we care, and it never trickled down to me under any circumstances, regardless of how presentable and agreeable I made myself. People would still say, no, you just don't qualify. And I made myself overqualified. And then I learned that people just don't do it because they don't like you and they want you to suffer. People like it when people suffer. They like it because they're suffering in their lives, and misery loves company, and they're just going to spread that shit around. And then I said, and then the people, I said, it's no different than when it happened in Paradise, California, when Paradise burned down and all those people died, and we'll never know how many people actually died and didn't escape, got burned alive in Paradise, and and then the people around there figured out government don't care about them. And then Maui happened, Maui burned down, and all this time later, people are figuring out, man, government don't care about us. And then it happens more and more and more, so more and more people are realizing, fuck. Gee, I hope nothing really bad happens, that I need some sort of help, because the help just isn't there. And it's happening to more and more people, so what I want to do is I want to help educate people and help them help themselves. Help them help themselves. Teach them, make them, And I'm just kind of over everybody making like their own space for them, and they've got all this abundance, and they never pay that shit forward either. You're not getting it. You're not going to keep the shit you got if you don't. It's energy flows. So when people are given abundance and it stops with them, they're cutting off the natural flow. So one day, naturally that flow will be cut off from them. Nobody gets to live that best life the whole life. Nobody. It's not lessons. Life is about learning lessons, and people don't learn lessons if everything is all cushion, cozy, and comfy all the time. Chop wood, carry water. Everybody gets the chance to ride on this alien out farm. Everybody has free will. Choose to do whatever they want. I went out to the park today and made some coffee for some travelers. Did a walk around. Yeah, that's what I did. If I can do something for somebody to, make life a little bit easier, I'm for it. Because it doesn't take much. And see, people are just, I guess, so uncreative. Or they're just waiting for the world to come in and make them feel better. And if they feel better so much, then maybe they'll wake up and help somebody else feel better. Has it happened yet? I can't wait, so I got to go out and help other people feel better, because I waited a long time for somebody to come in and make me feel better, and it didn't happen, so the feel better had to come within me. Come from within me to help others feel better, because I got a lot of love to give. Most people don't want it. Most people think that if I let this chick do stuff for me, then maybe someday I'm going to have to do something for her, and they don't want that. And that's how energy works. That's how relationships work. Relationships are a give and take. If you have somebody telling you, "Oh, you keeping track?" Yeah, and you're not carrying the weight. You're not doing your part in this engagement. It's a little too one-sided for me. So I'm going to go ahead and close this account. So, who am I to get in the way of somebody else's life education on planet Earth? It's about